Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do the Incredible Hulk issue 142 from Marvel Comics. This book is from 1971, was the year that I was born. And look at this freaking awesome cover. Look at this. If this was on the shelf now, on the shelf on a local comic book store, I would pick it up definitely, right? Looks that good. Also a lot of explosions in the background. Not sure why, because this is a very high place, it seems, but it's purely for dramatic effect. All right, before we go in, I want to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, I'm doing daily videos, unboxing, manga, different publishers, DC, Marvel, Boom Studios, Dark Horse, Image, you name it. I'm doing it. I've tons of videos on my channel. You can check it out, and if you like what you see, please subscribe. Would help me a lot. Thank you. So, without further ado, it's by Stan Lee, Roy Thomas, Herb Trimpe, is that how you say it? John Severin, and a couple other peoples. And we see the Hulk. He's climbing the Statue of Liberty and he's falling asleep. But the next day, cops has found out that he's up there. Also, articles are being written about him, and they are being written or read by a couple of socialists, and they are saying, hey, maybe we need a new fundraiser, right, for the socially oppressed group, the Panthers, the Great Pickers, the Friends of the Earth. It's all been done. We're going to give such a party for the Hulk. And this Melissa, that's her name, calls him her pet, she is intrigued by I believe her husband, Reggie, and but it's not. But then also her daughter, or their daughter, Samantha, is picking up and said, hey, maybe you could do a fundraiser for the women's lib. I said, Samantha, dear, I've explained 1,000,000 times before. I know, one of your business friends have done it already. But well then, I just go with you, but I'm betting the Hulk turns out to be the biggest male chauvinist pig in this. God, I hate activists. I hate socialists. It's just, they all pretend that they care, right? But basically they are just, they're all in for themselves. They are, all these people, like the Greta Thunbergs of this world, they're all in for themselves. It's all fake, and they are cashing in on all this fake outrage. Anyway, so we see Glenn Talbot and General Ross saying to the Hulk, hey, listen, you need to get off. But the Hulk doesn't listen. Say, hey, you need to get away, right? Leave the Hulk alone, or he smash. Anyway, so the socialists are here, and they said, hey, how do you want to lure the Hulk into our duplex? The sweet, sweet smell of money, Militia. You see, I don't believe this Hulk is the bestial creature the mass media claim he is, and money would buy him safety. So there is some altruism here to a certain degree, but of course it has to come with a price. So, and what does she wear? She says, hey, my name is Miss Reginald Parrington, and we need to go to the Hulk. I don't care if you're Che Guevara with the fancy gun belt, lady. Nobody gets near that monster up there. Why is she wearing a gun belt? Was that a thing back in the 70s? Anyway, but then Samantha is just throwing this police guy, or military guy, over the fence and into the water. And she says, we got to charm the big green snake down fast before they throw us off the island on our candelabra. So then I say, like I said, I don't know 70s slang much. Even the Hulk says, what are those crazy ones doing down there? Why won't they leave the Hulk alone? So General Talbot says, hey, what's going on over there? So this guy is reporting in. He says, hey, do you want me to go after them? No, or the Hulk will be angry and he's going on a rampage. And so they climb up, as far as they can to talk to the Hulk. And Reggie said, hey, can you just come down here? And the Hulk says, no way. The Hulk stays where he is because you want to trick him. No, now go. The statue is the Hulk now. Hulk likes it and Hulk will keep it. So Samantha comes up with the plans, right? And says, let me talk to him. And basically convince him that, I don't know, she talks to him that, maybe the Hulk wants to be left alone, but they can give him a place like that, his own country. All he has to do is follow them, right? The Hulk, simpleton as he is, listens to them and he is climbing down, right? And the Hulk trusts him. This guy's not happy because they're going to New York. All right. And then they are walking into the streets. I said, oh man, that's with a lot of people that, closing in, wants to talk to the Hulk. That's not a good idea. But then Reggie says, please, gentlemen of the press, there's really nothing so remarkable in what I've done. I merely persuaded our green-skinned friend that we shall hold an emergency fundraising party on his behalf, right? No excuses, I had a taxing ordeal. But Samantha's not happy and said, how could you? You took credit for everything. No, be fair, my pet. After all, seeking out the Hulk was my idea. After all. She is not all too happy, and she says, you just want to exploit him and get your name in the papers. It is good for business. So she is shocked. I can't believe it. My own folks playing fireman on the social ladder. And she says, well, one word for me, and the Hulk could bring the whole thing down like a house of cards, but, it could wreck the whole city. And she says, no, there are other ways. All right. This is fun. A radical chic, a new phenomenon is abroad in the land as Park Avenue liberals and Fifth Avenue firebrands unite in a veritable orgy of party giving and fun gathering for their favorite causes celebrate, and a few causes not so celebrated. So they all say, oh, isn't this simply divine? It's the best party yet. I just don't see how the army can go on persecuting him that way. Yes, just because he tears down an old building now and then. I mean, this is exactly what activists and socialists are doing. They basically agreeing with all the bad stuff that the people are doing, like terrorist attack, and they call you, everything under the sun, like racist and bigots and all that stuff, while, praising terrorists and bad people. And the Hulk says, hey, where's the blonde girl? If this is a trap, Hulk will smash you all. Isn't he just adorable, Elizabeth? He's saying that all day. Of course, he really doesn't mean a word of it. No, he's just a freaking Hulk. Anyway, so everyone wants to have a piece of the Hulk, want to, put him in a movie or whatever. And there is also a woman that has green hair, and Hulk reminds her of Jarella. Jarella was his sweetheart that unfortunately died, right? And so the woman with the gun belts or ammo belt says, Mr. Wolfe, you aren't planning to write any of those nasty little goddess of yours about my party, are you? He says, well, meanwhile, we have Samantha, right, is just demonstrating about women's rights. Oh, man, nothing ever changed. Things that was back relevant now is somewhat relevant now, although the women's right in the 70s was for a real good cause. I mean, if you agree it or not. But, the women's right, the feminists of now is just a bunch of hacktivists screaming into the void all day, causing an uproar and a lot of problems. Anyway, but then we see Amora, also known as the Enchantress of Asgard, right? And she has a beef with the Hulk and also with the Avengers because of what happened in, the Hulk 101 and Avengers 83. I don't remember it. I have to read it. And so it seems that she was once upon a time came to Earth in the guise of the Valkyrie. But Odin's curse, put a number on that and her powers are half. But not you, Samantha Parrington. You are not under the curse of the Allfather. Thus, there is naught to prevent you from carrying out the Enchantress plan and being the unwitting instrument of my awesome wrath. My divine vengeance. Walk like a living zombie through the heart of the teeming city toward that site which has been chosen, the site which is, by fate or fortune, at the very point in time and space where our two worlds do lightly meet. And now speak the words which I have lightly whispered, the words which has been seared upon your earthly lips. And she shouts, Valhalla! And you shall know the truest liberation which man or woman may ever seen. when you are no more Samantha Parrington, but rather the vengeful Valkyrie. I like that a lot. Also, it was a little bit weird that we have two, instead of this going here, right, and then we have an ad. They just split it into two, which I haven't seen before or can remember that has been happening. Also, you say, wait a minute, Samantha Parrington, old school defenders, readers might think, wasn't the Valkyrie once upon a time called the crazy woman called Barbara Norris? Yes, there was, but also Samantha Parrington for this day, on this day. But what I didn't know at the time, I did a review on The Defenders Volume 2, which was not the best, but it's basically nostalgia bait in my opinion. I was 12 issues by Eric Larson, and I forget the writer or the creative team, but and it was a new Valkyrie, and it was in fact Samantha Parrington. I didn't know that. I do now. I like it when things from the past comes back in a certain way into the present, but it really depends if it's written well or not. So yeah, moving on. So we have some slight joke here that's not really important, but it's funny. Anyway, so the parents of Samantha realizes that the feminist group are going away. And he says, attention, one and all, it's time for that we are raising here for money for the Hulk, right? So that he get his own territory. It's more than 100,000 in cash and checks. I only hope we remember to tell the reporters who raised it for him. Fucking so selfish. He says, here, this is your permanent freedom. But the Hulk says, paper. What has the Hulk to do with scraps of paper? He just doesn't understand. And he wants to see the blonde girl, right? Because he thinks he's been tricked. But then she said, the Valkyrie crashes in and calls the Hulk a male chauvinist pig. You can't make this up. And he says, oh, it's the Hulk friends, but she looks different, but she kicks him in the face. Fool, you shall learn the man-besting Valkyrie, you and all men, to the eternal sorrow. And it hurts the Hulk. And we have some fourth wall breaking stuff here. It looks, she's throwing stuff at the Hulk like they're a married couple or something. It looks great. Anyway, but the Hulk, she says, I don't fight girls, so he does this. Sexist swine, it will take more than one fall to defeat the Valkyrie. You call the Hulk strange names he doesn't understand. But the Hulk will win, he always does. But then she kicks him out of the building, and she says, well, now we're in the open, the Hulk can leave. And she says, well, wait, Hulk, I'm apologizing. Let us not part as foes, but as friends. And the Hulk thinks that's a good idea. And she just, I want you to let me close enough to you so that I might touch a certain pressure point on your neck and gain the day's victory. I like this particular panel here when she's really leaning over, her hair down, her posture is, like that. And also the Hulk is then, falling unconscious. Really well done with the body language. Great. So, and she brags about that the mighty man, monstrous Hulk, a helpless heap of quasi-human rubble beneath the hand of a mere woman, was vanquished, right? But it's not enough that I alone should witness your fall. All mankind, every egocentric male, must know of it and tremble. So she's going to some kind of a structure that was made by the hands of males, that self-aware place. Well, I did receive my awesome Amazonian powers. Wait a minute, Amazonian powers? Is it not Asgardian power? Okay, never mind. Anyway, but the Hulk wakes up. So the Enchantress calls to the Valkyrie that she needs to hurry up because there's the spell that she put on her is temporary. So she obeys, and she just adds, and she is throwing the Hulk down. Look at her angry face. But then she realizes that she was wrong and that beneath all that was a human being, and she has killed him. And she jumps down. Did the Hulk survive, or is he? But the Hulk says, of course, nothing can harm the Hulk. Least of all the hand of a woman. That cracked me up so hard. And she says, you're alive. Well, it doesn't matter. Still, you must be defeated, humiliated in the name of all womankind. So, and guards monstrosity. So the Hulk says, I will not hit a woman, but if you insist. But then a flash of energy and the angry, enraged Enchantress know that she has failed. But then a little bit later, it's not the Hulk waking up, but none other than Bruce Banner. And she says, who are you? And she says, my name is Samantha Parrington. Thrilled, now if you pardon my bag. Good riddance, she says. But I must be daydreaming. Strangest thing, if only I could remember what I dreamed. Well, maybe I have the same dream again one day. And that, my friends, is the end of the book. What a fantastic one-shot. Great art, great fun with the Valkyrie, and also, with Samantha Parrington and not Barbara Norris. Nice touch here. Yeah, great stuff. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I see you next one. Bye.